Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel Live. I'm Sharon Mascalini.
And I am Tilina Udayaratna. First up, we take a look at the headlines for tonight.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna turns a new page in the political history of the country. A two-thirds majority is definite. The Prime Minister of the new Parliament takes oaths on the 9th of this month. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa secures the highest preferential votes. Several former parliamentarians lose their seats. The National Coordinator of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna thanks all who supported the landslide victory.
On to the stories in detail now, starting off with local news. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa will swear in as the new Prime Minister of Sri Lanka on August 9th at 8:30 a.m. at the Kelaniya Rajama Viharaya. Issuing a statement, the Prime Minister said that the objective of his party is to transform the victory achieved at the election into a resounding victory of the nation. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa will swear in as the new Prime Minister for the fourth time. The swearing-in ceremony will be held under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The ceremony will be live telecasted on the national television. The statement issued by the Prime Minister in the occasion of securing the victory of the parliamentary election by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has indicated that true resounding victories can be obtained upon challenges. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured an outstanding victory in the recently concluded parliamentary election. The Prime Minister has said that the gratitude of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna will be extended to all the voters who cast their vote for the victory of the party while keeping confidence on the party. The victory secured in this election is a victory achieved by the nation. When the entire world has been grappled by COVID-19 outbreak, the government reached a decision to hold the election while keeping faith in the public. The Prime Minister has mentioned that more than 70% of the registered voters had exercised their voting right during the election. Amid challenging circumstances, it is commendable to note that the people of the country to act democratically to ensure democracy. Also, only a few countries in the world have come forward to take such a democratic decision and to act upon reached decision amid the pandemic situation. The Election Commission, health sector as well as security forces and state sector were able to hold the election while ensuring the health protection of those arrived at the polling station to cast their votes while adhering to recommendations of the World Health Organization. The statement has further noted that the war victory containing COVID-19 in the country as well as conducting a successful election have shown the might of the country and its people to the global community. The victory at the election is a victory to rebuild the nation's confidence. The success achieved at the election has proven to the world the national policy framework vistas of prosperity and splendor presented by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa can be ensured in the country. In the statement, the Prime Minister has extended his gratitude to all the voters for casting their vote at the election and to the Election Commission, security forces, state sector employees, media institutions, election observers and the entire nation for their contribution to hold a successful and peaceful election. Meanwhile, religious leaders representing all religions in the country invoke blessings to the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa for the outstanding victory achieved by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna at the Carlton House in Tangor. The public gathered at the Carlton House premises extended their congratulatory wishes to the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured a landslide victory in the parliamentary election to select representatives for the 9th Parliament. The party secured an overall number of 145 seats. Securing victory in 18 out of 22 electoral districts, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained 6,853,690 votes, which is a percentage of 59.09. Thereby, with the national list allocation of 17 seats, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secures 145 seats in Parliament. The Samagijana Balavegya, coming in second place, obtained 2,771,980 votes, which is a percentage of 23.9. Thereby, with the national list allocation of 7 seats, they secure 54 seats in Parliament. The Ilangai Arasu Katchi, with 1 seat allocation from the national list, secures 10 seats in Parliament, obtaining a total number of 327,168 votes, which is a percentage of 2.82. The National People's Power was able to obtain 445,958 votes, which is a percentage of 3.84. They secured 3 seats in Parliament, which includes a seat allocation from the national list. The Ahile Ilangai Tamil Congress, obtaining 67,766 votes, has secured 2 seats in Parliament, which includes a seat allocated from the national list. EPDP has obtained 2 seats with a total number of 61,464 votes. The United National Party, which suffered the heaviest defeat in history, was entitled to 1 seat allocated from the national list. The UMP obtained 249,435 votes. The All People's Power Party obtained 67,758 votes, securing 1 national list seat. The Tamil Makkal Vidudalai Puligal, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the Muslim National Alliance, the Tamil Makkal Thesiya Kuttani, the All Ceylon People's Congress, the National Congress and the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress were able to secure 1 seat each. These parties have obtained votes less than 0.6%.
Leaders across the world have conveyed congratulatory wishes to the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, led by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, on gaining an outstanding victory at the parliamentary elections 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Mahinda Rajapaksa, on the successful conduct of the parliamentary elections in Sri Lanka yesterday. In his tweet, he has said that this reflected the strong democratic values shared by both countries. He further said that he looks forward to working closely to further enhance the long-standing cooperation between the 2 countries. The Prime Minister, Mahinda Rajapaksa, replying to his tweet, has conveyed his gratitude to him. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has also received a congratulatory message via Twitter by the Maldivian President Ibrahim Mohamed Solih. He said that they are confident that this win would usher in greater prosperity for the Sri Lankan people and foster even closer ties between the Maldives and Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, has congratulated Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today on behalf of the government and people of Nepal. He hopes the new government can prevail successfully in their time of office. Meanwhile, the ambassador to the United States, Elena B. Teplitz, has conveyed her wishes to the people of Sri Lanka on their democratic parliamentary election. She said that the United States looks forward to working with the newly elected government to build a stronger and healthier partnership between our 2 countries. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has tweeted congratulating the government and people of Sri Lanka for holding a successful election to elect the new parliament. He also congratulated on clear reaffirmation of confidence and the leadership of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, and also said that Pakistan is looking forward to continuing to work closely together across bilateral, regional and international spheres.
In other stories, political analysts note that the Samagijana Balavegya, facing defeat in electorates favourable to them, is a notable aspect at the parliamentary election. Significantly, Sajid Premadasa was defeated in the Nuwara and Digamadulla districts, which were 2 of the districts in which he secured victory at the presidential election. At the last presidential election, Sajid Premadasa secured victory in the Nuwara district with a majority of over 100,000 votes. However, this year at the general election, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured victory in the Nuwara district with a majority of close upon 100,000 votes. In addition, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was able to win the Nuvareliya Muskeli electorate, which is considered as a UMP bastion by the majority of over 43,000 votes. The 6 electorates of the Kandy district at which Sajith Premadasa secured victory at the presidential election were won by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. Political analysts point out that it is significant to note that at this election, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured victory in the Kandy electorate, whilst the Samagijana Balawegaya was unable to secure victory in any electorate in the central province. Another notable change is the defeat suffered by the Samagijana Balawegaya in the Mavanella, Passara and Gaul electorates. The party secured victory in these electorates at the presidential election. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured its highest vote percentage in the Kamarugamu electorate, which was 78.17%. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained over 70% of the vote in the Ratgama, Balapitiya, Ambalangoda, Karandeniya, Bentara Alpitiya, Habaruduwa, Baddegama, Deniyaya, Akurasa, Valigama, Devinuwara, Hakmana, Bibila, Vallavaya, Monaragala, Kalaweva, Beliyatta, Mulkirigala, Tissamaramaaya, Tangol, Polonnaruwa, Madirigiriya, Minneriya, Galigamuwa, Kegol, Horana, Kalavana, Kolonna, Ahaliyagoda, Dambadeniya, Variyapola, Homagama, Kasbeva, Kadubala, Anamaduwa, Ampara, Dambulla, Laggala, Dompe and Gampa electorates. The Samagijana Balawegaya was defeated by a majority of over 70,000 votes in the Tissamarama electorate, which is an electorate where Sajith Premadasa represented for close upon 25 years. The party obtained 17.7% of the vote. In the overall results of the Hambantota district, the vote base of the Samagijana Balawegaya was decreased to 13.84%. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained a highest margin in the Homagama electorate, securing a majority of 71,934 votes. In addition, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was able to win the Ampara, Tangol, Polonnaruwa, Kolonna, Kaduwela, Kasbeva and Mahara electorates with a margin of over 50,000 votes. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna leads in the overall results by over 4 million votes. This is the highest result obtained by a political movement in the country. The Samagijana Balawegaya has secured just about a one-third of the total votes obtained by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna.
Chairman of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Pires, states that his party is prepared to form the strongest government in the political history of Sri Lanka, together with affiliated parties. Professor Pires states that with the seats obtained by the parties affiliated with the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, a majority of over 150 seats can be shown in the parliament. Speaking at the first media briefing held after the landslide victory, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna's chairman, Professor G.L. Pires, stated that special tribute needs to be paid to the founder of the party, Basil Rajapaksa. He called to mind that founder Basil Rajapaksa formed the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna upon the guidance of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, and even though it is the youngest political party having around 3.5 years of a political journey, it secured a landslide victory since during the 7 months after Gotabaya Rajapaksa assumed the presidency, the party worked practically for the people and showed results. Professor Pires stated that within this short period of time, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was able to control the COVID-19 pandemic and launch a strong move to suppress the underworld and drug smuggling. He further stated that the people have high confidence in the President's leadership capacity, his ability to practically show results, and also in coordinating and monitoring work. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna's chairman stated that when the new parliament convenes on the 20th of August, his party will have a 2/3 majority and if necessary. And he further stated that the main objective of the government is to uplift the economy of the country that has collapsed due to COVID-19.
There are several priorities. One is, of course, to handle the economy in the post-COVID situation. So we have already made a very successful start with regard to that. As the Honourable Basil Rajapaksa pointed out at the media briefing that he had just before the election, the country's exports performance in July 2020 is better than the export performance during the same month in the previous year. That is in spite of COVID-19. So that is not a matter of coincidence. It has been the result of policies that have been properly constructed and implemented. So one major challenge will be to deal with the economy in a situation where certain major sources of foreign exchange will not be forthcoming, such as tourism and also the remittances from our workers abroad. So we will have to make those adjustments. Then we will also have to concentrate on certain urgent reforms that are required with regard to the constitution and the legal system of the country. Then with regard to foreign relations, the present government, our government, disagrees profoundly with some of the actions that were taken by the Ihapalana government in the Human Rights Council, some of the commitments that were made. So in all these matters, there will have to be new thinking and new approaches to the problems that we are confronting. As I understand it, the idea is to start with a vote on account and then to move towards the preparation of a fully fledged budget. I don't think no economy in the world has performed as it should during the last 3 months because of COVID-19. Economies which are far stronger than ours have taken a far bigger hit. So that is entirely due to factors beyond our control, but we have to manage within those constraints and do the best we can for our country. So that will be our objective.
Based on the overall results of the 2020 parliamentary election, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna is entitled to 17 national slots. The nominations for the party's national list were submitted to the Elections Commission today. Issuing a media release, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna announced the nominated national list members. They are Professor G.L. Pires, Attorney-at-Law Sagara Karyavasam, former Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwat Cabral, President's Counsel Muhammad Ali Sabri, President's Counsel Jayantha Veerasinghe, retired teaching instructor Manjula Disanayaka, Professor Ranjit Bandara, Professor Charita Herath, civil activist Gevindu Kumaratunga, former parliamentarian Muhammad Muzammil, Professor Tissa Vitarana, engineer Yadamini Gunawardana, Dr. Suren Raghavan, businessman Tiran Alas, consultant Dr. Sita Arambipula, former parliamentarian Jayantha Katagoda, and businessman Mohammad Falil Marjan.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has secured the highest number of preferential votes at the parliamentary election, which is 527,364. Thereby, Premier Rajapaksa takes oaths as the Prime Minister for the 4th time. 11 members have been elected to Parliament contesting under the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna from the Kurunegala district. The Samagijana Balavege has secured 4 seats in the district. In order of the preferential votes secured in the district, Johnston Fernando comes in second place with 199,203 votes. Lecturer Gunapala Ratnasekara is in third place with 141,991 preferential votes. Dayasiri Jayasekara and Asanka Navaratna have obtained 112,452 and 82,779 preferential votes respectively. In addition, candidates Samanpriya Herath, D.B. Herath, Anurapriya Darshanayapa, Jayaratna Herath, Shanta Bandara and Udukumurage Sumit have also been elected to Parliament. Meanwhile, representing the Samagijana Balavege, Nalin Bandara has obtained 75,631 preferential votes. In addition, J.C. Alavatuwala, Ashok Abesing and Tushara Indunil have also been elected to Parliament. 12 members were elected to Parliament contesting under the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna from the Colombo district, out of which Rear Admiral Sarath Veerasekara secured the highest number of preferential votes, which is 328,092. Vimal Veeravansha and Udayagammanpila obtained 260,087 and 136,331 preferential votes respectively. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa obtained 120,626 votes, whilst Bandula Gunawardana obtained 101,644 votes. Pradeep Udugoda, Dinesh Gunawardana, Madhura Vithanage, Premnath Dolavatta, Gamini Lokuge, Susi Premajayantha and Jagat Kumara have also been elected to Parliament. Leader of the Samagi Jana Balavege, Sajid Premadasa, contesting from the Colombo district, secured 305,744 preferential votes. In addition, contestants S.M. Marika, Mujibur Rahman, Dr. Harsha De Silva, Patili Champika Ranavaka and Manu Ganeshan have also secured seats in Parliament. Leader of the National People's Power, Anurakumara Dissanayake, was also elected to Parliament. In the Gampa district representing the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna, Dr. Nalaka Godaheva obtained the highest number of preferential votes, which was 325,479. Prasanna Ranatunga obtained 316,544 votes. Indika Anuruddha, Sisira Jayakudi, Nimal Lansa, Sahan Pradeep Vithana, Sudarshini Fernando Pulle, Prasanna Ranavira, Kokila Harshini Gunawardana, Lasanta Alagiyavanna, Nalin Fernando, Milan Jayathilaka and Upul Mahendra Rajapaksa have also been elected. Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca, contesting under the Samagi Jana Balavege, obtained 110,535 preferential votes in the Gampa district. In addition, Ranjan Ramanayaka, Harsha Rajakaruna and Dr. Kavinda Jayavardhana have also secured seats in Parliament. Representing the National People's Power, candidate Vijitha Herath secured a seat in Parliament from the district. Meanwhile, in the Mathura district, Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna candidate Nipuna Ranavaka obtained the highest number of preferential votes, which was 131,010. Karuna Kuditwaku comes in second place with 114,319 votes, while Dallas Ala Peruma comes in third place with 103,534 votes. Kanchana Vijayasekara and Mahindaya Pabewardhana obtained 96,033 and 80,595 votes respectively. Veerasumana Veerasinghe was also elected. Meanwhile, the only seat secured by the Samagi Jana Balavege from the Mathura district was obtained by Buddhika Patirana. The Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna secured 6 seats in the Hambantota district, out of which the highest number of preferential votes was obtained by Namal Rajapaksa. He obtained 166,660 votes. D.V. Chanaka and Mahinda Amaravira obtained 128,805 and 123,730 votes respectively. Chamal Rajapaksa obtained 85,330 votes. Upul Galapati and Ajit Rajapaksa have also been elected. The only representative in Parliament from the Samagi Jana Balavege in the Hambantota district is Dilip Vedarachi. The highest number of preferential votes of the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna in the Gaul district was obtained by Dr. Ramesh Patirana. He obtained 250,218 votes. Sampath Tatukorala, Mohan P. De Silva, Chandima Veerakodi, Isuru Dorangoda, Shan Vijayalal De Silva and Geeta Kumarasinghe have also been elected to Parliament. Representing the Samagi Jana Balavege, Gayantha Karunatilaka and Manusha Nanayakara have secured seats in Parliament.
The Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna secured a sweeping victory that no other political movement has secured under the proportional representation system in the country. The party secured 145 seats, emerging victorious in 18 of the 22 districts.
The Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna secured a remarkable victory in the Hambantota district, securing over 75% of the votes and obtaining 6 seats. Although Hambantota was the district previously represented by Samagi Jana Balavege's leader Sajid Premadasa, the party obtained a percentage of 13.84, securing only 1 seat. The Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna was able to secure 5 seats from the Monaragala district, obtaining more than 74% of the votes. The Samagi Jana Balavege secured only 1 seat with 19.28% of the votes. In the Kurunagala district, the Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna secured a victory in 11 of the 15 seats. The Samagi Jana Balavege obtained only 4 seats. The Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna significantly obtained over 400,000 votes in this district. The Samagi Jana Balavege secured 25.21% of the votes. The Sri Lanka Potujana Peramuna secured 12 out of the 19 seats in the Colombo district. The Samagi Jana Balavege obtained 6 seats. The National People's Power obtained 1 seat. Political analysts point out that the defeat of UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe at this election is notable. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained 13 seats in the Gampaha district, while the Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 4 seats. The National People's Power obtained 1 seat. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna leads by over 500,000 votes in the Gampaha district. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured 8 seats in the Kalutara district, obtaining 64.08% of the votes. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 2 seats. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured a victory in the Ratnapura district, obtaining more than 70% of the votes with 8 seats. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 3 seats. In the Polonnaruwa district, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured over 70% of the votes, obtaining 4 of the 5 seats. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained only 1 seat. 6 out of the 7 seats in the Matara district were won by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna with a percentage of 73.63. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 1 seat. In the Galle district, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured a victory in 7 out of the 9 seats, obtaining more than 70% of the votes. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 2 seats. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured 7 seats in the Anuradhapura district, while the Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 2 seats. 6 of the 9 seats in the Badulla district were won by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, obtaining votes exceeding 62%. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 3 seats. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, obtaining over 66% of the votes in the Kegalle district, secured 7 seats. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 2 seats. The Nuwara district, at which Sajith Premadasa secured a victory at the presidential election with a majority of over 100,000 votes, was won by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna with a majority of close upon 100,000 votes. The Nuwara Muskelia electorate, which was a previous UNP bastion, was also won by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. The party secured 5 seats, while the Samagi Jana Balawege secured 3 seats. In the Matale district, 4 of the 5 seats were won by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 1 seat. The Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi secured victory in the Vanni district, obtaining 3 seats. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, the EPDP and the Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 1 seat each. The Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi also secured a victory in the Jaffna district. They obtained 3 seats. The Ahila Ilangai Tamil Congress, the EPDP and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party obtained 1 seat each. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained 3 seats in the Digamadulla district, while the Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 2 seats. The All Ceylon People's Congress and the National Congress obtained 1 seat each. The Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi secured victory in the Batiklo district as well. They obtained 2 seats, while the Tamil Makkal Viduthalai Pulikkal, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress and the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained 1 seat each. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained 57.26% of the votes in the Putlam district, securing 5 seats. The Samagi Jana Balawege obtained 2 seats, while the Muslim National Alliance secured 1 seat. The Samagi Jana Balawege secured victory in the Trincomalee district. The party obtained 2 seats, while the Ilangai Tamil Arasu Katchi and the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna obtained 1 seat each. Securing 8 seats, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna won the Kandy district, while the Samagi Jana Balawege secured 4 seats in the district. Securing 8 seats, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna won the Kandy district, while the Samagi Jana Balawege secured 4 seats in the district.
In light of yesterday's results from the parliamentary election, several former parliamentarians have lost their seats. Significantly, the leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, who represented the legislature for nearly half a century, lost the Colombo seat. UNP's leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, who entered the parliament from the Biyagama electorate in the 1977 general election, has served the country as Prime Minister on 5 occasions. Leader of the United National Party Ranil Wickremesinghe, Assistant Leader Ravi Karunanayake and Treasurer Daya Gamage contested from the Colombo district but lost their seats. H.M. Fauzi, Hirunika Premachandra and Sujiva Senasinghe, who contested under the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, were also defeated, while Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate Tilanga Sumathipala also lost his seat. In the Gampaha district, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate Dulip Wijesekara, UNP candidates Arjun Ranatunga and Ruwan Vijayawardena and Samagi Jana Balawegaya candidates Edward Gunasekara, Chatura Senaratna, Ajit Manna Peruma and Vijit Vijayamuni Disoiza failed to enter the parliament. Meanwhile, Venerable Aturaliye Ratanathera was also defeated in the Gampaha district. In the Kalutara district, Samagi Jana Balawegaya candidate Ajit P. Pereira, UNP candidates Palita Tevara Peruma and Lakshman Vijayman and National People's Party candidate Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa were also defeated. UNP's General Secretary Akila Viraj Karyavasam, who contested from the Kurunegala district, also lost. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate T.B. Ekanayaka, Thara Natha Basnayaka and S.B. Navina also suffered defeat. Indika Bandarnayaka of the Samagi Jana Balawegaya also lost his seat. UNP candidate Palita Range Bandara and Samagi Jana Balawegaya candidate Shanta Abesekar lost their seats in the Putlam district. Former Gaul district UNP parliamentarian Vajira Abewardena and Samagi Jana Balawegaya candidates Vijaypala Hettiarachi, Bandulal Bandarigoda and Piyasena Gamge also failed to secure seats. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidates Lakshman Yapa Abewardena and Niroshan Premaratna, who contested from the Mathura district, were also defeated. National People's Party candidate Nihal Galappatti lost his electorate in the Hambantota district. In the Anuradhapura district, Samagi Jana Balawegaya candidates Chandrani Bandara, P. Harrison and Chandima Gamage were defeated, while Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidates Veerakumara Disanayaka and S.C. Muthukumarana also lost their seats. Polonnaru district, Samagi Jana Balawegaya candidate Sydney Jayaratna and UNP candidate Nalaka Kolonne were also defeated.
Meanwhile, people in many parts of the country are celebrating the outstanding victory achieved by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna at the parliamentary elections 2020. All religious leaders invoke blessings to Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa for achieving an outstanding victory at the Carlton House in Tangol. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa obtained the highest preferential votes in this year's parliamentary election. With an illustrious political career of 50 years, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa obtained 527,364 votes from the Kurunegala district. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa watched the election results from Carlton House in Tangol, and his son MP Nama Rajapaksa, who gained the highest preferential votes in the Hambantota district, was also with the Prime Minister in this occasion. The Prime Minister received a warm welcome from the public. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured an outstanding victory in the parliamentary election while embarking on a new political trend in the country. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Basil Rajapaksa, conducted the election propaganda campaign. Celebrating the victory, he extended his gratitude to all those who supported the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. Meanwhile, the Lotus Tower in Colombo was illuminated yesterday in this manner.
දැසෙන ගුණ කඳුළු විසඳ ගන්න එන්න
සිනහමලින් මුහුණෝ සරස ගන්න එන්න
භේද නැතිව සැවම එකතු වෙලා එන්න
ලක්මගේ දරුවෝ සියලු දෙනා එන්න දකුණු කලින් එන්න නැගෙනහිරින් එන්න උතුරු කලින් එන්න අඳු කරයෙන්
Well, in the meantime, the Kurunagala magistrate today issued arrest warrants on the Kurunagala mayor and 4 others in the case over the destruction of an ancient monument in Kurunagala. The order was issued today after considering the investigation report submitted by the Attorney General Dappula de Oliveira to the Kurunagala courts. Chief Magistrate ordered the Kurunagala Police Headquarters and the Divisional Investigation Unit to arrest Kurunagala Mayor Tushara Sanjeeva Vitarana, Kurunagala Municipal Commissioner Pradeep Tilakaratna, Municipal Engineer Chaminda Kumara, Works Superintendent Mohammad Sul Shikhar and the backhoe machine operator Lakshman Priyanta Varnasurya over the incident and produce them before court. The Supreme Court decided to dismiss a fundamental rights application filed by ex-minister Rishad Badiuddin today, which was in regard of seeking an interim injunction order to prevent the Criminal Investigations Department from arresting him. The petition was called up in the presence of Supreme Court Justices Bueneka Aluvihare, LTB Dehidenia and S. Tureraja. Senior Deputy Solicitor General Nereen Pulle, who appeared for the Attorney General, told the courts said the investigation carried out in the Easter attacks series was advanced and the conduct of the individuals such as the petitioner coming to court seeking injunction orders to prevent the arrest is an obstruction towards the investigation. Considering the facts presented by the Senior Deputy Solicitor General Nereen Pulle, the Supreme Court bench dismissed the petition without granting permission for examination. Well, that's it from the Rupavahini news desk for tonight. Join us once again tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.